So today is Saturday and I go back to work officially on Monday. And the beginning of a new school year always feels much more like a new beginning to me than like January 1st. So when I go into a new school year, I like to set kind of like some New Year's resolutions or some goals for the school year. And it's kind of funny because these goals end up sort of being something that, rather than like adds to what I'm trying to get done, kind of limits all the things that I'm trying to do in one school year. Because a lot of times for me, I want to take every single good idea that I've ever heard and put all of that together. Like, I'm going to do group work every day, I'm going to do a bell ringer every day, I'm going to have specific EL strategies that I do every single day, differentiation for struggling readers, something for my top students to challenge them. I'm going to update my School Loop account every 5 seconds. I'm going to email back every single parent. I'm going to go to all of the conferences. I'm going to do project-based learning. I'm going to incorporate technology. My kids are going to be talking 80% of the time. I'm only going to talk 20. I'm going to use Prezi. I'm going to use PowerPoints, blah, until it just gets crazy and you cannot possibly do everything that you set out to do. I wish you could, but you really have to kind of focus on a couple of key things that you're definitely going to do. There are some things that just come naturally. Maybe you don't really have to set a goal for. So it really depends on you and the types of things that you want to incorporate into your school year. I made a list for myself of 10 things I really want to focus on, and I wish I could do like maybe 17 or 18. That would make me feel much better. But I was just like, okay, if I could only choose 10 things, what would they be? And my list also includes things for me personally and kind of how I'm going to balance my personal life with my work life, because I'm sure this is important in every job, but as a teacher, I just feel like it's very hard for me to be an effective teacher if my personal life is totally out of whack. I mean, it can be a little messy, but if I'm feeling very unhealthy, or I'm feeling very tired, or I haven't, gotten to spend any time with friends or family because I'm always doing things for work, then it's a lot easier to get burnt out. And teaching requires a lot of like giving of yourself. In order to be able to keep giving, you also kind of have to like restore yourself, so that you have something to keep giving. You know what I mean? Going into my 4th year of teaching, my 3rd year at the same school, which is exciting. And even though I feel like I've left out so much, these are my 10 goals. Number 1, meet all of the Common Core state standards. I will leave a link below to the video and my Teachers Pay Teachers store, where I have all my resources for really trying to plan according to meet all of the Common Core state standards. It's a lot easier said than done. Actually, it's not even that easy said. It would be very time consuming and difficult to go through every single standard that you have to meet. It's crazy how much there is to do. But I think in the past, because I was a new teacher and then because we were like getting new curriculum, I just always met a standard with my lessons, but I didn't meet all of the standards by the end of the year. So just as a little update on some of my planning, I did print out all of the different standards on different colored paper just to make this easier on myself. So this is like for my 6th graders. Got all the reading information standards, all the language standards, literature standards, speaking and listening, and then writing. I'm going to put these up on the bulletin board that's behind my desk in my classroom. And as I plan out my year, even now, I'm making sure that I have lessons to meet every single thing. Number 2, successfully use notebooks. Along with this whole standards plan that I have, I also pulled out 130 vocabulary words for my 6th grade English students that I think they're going to need to know by the end of the school year. So in my last video, I think I showed some really cute composition notebooks that I got that I'm going to raffle off. So I'm going to have my 6th graders keep composition notebooks, and every morning we're going to start the day with a vocabulary word, and they'll record all those in their notebooks. And then it's been a tradition at my school for a while, some teacher must have started it a long time ago, but that the 8th graders for US history, they keep a notebook as well. And so they always do these 70-page one subject notebooks. So I got some really cute ones actually at Target the other day. So I'm gonna raffle off a couple of these too. I gotta find some more like boyish ones. These are definitely really girly. But what we do with the 8th graders is have them create interactive notebooks. They'll have like a table of contents on the first page, and then with each like major assignment that they do, not just like note taking or whatever, but the big assignments, they kind of recreate it and make it organized and aesthetically pleasing, and they can, you know, choose a theme for it. One kid had all of his pages like with NFL football stickers on them or whatever. They can do whatever they want. They can add glitter, doesn't matter. So then by the end of the year, they have this really cool book that they've made that has like all the major things that they learned in US history. Last year I always felt like I was a step behind with my notebooks, so this year I just want to be on top of that. And I'm all about incorporating more technology and doing a lot of things with like less paper, and we will for sure do a lot of that type of stuff, but I also just think it's so cool to have an actual physical paper collage type of thing at the end of the year. Number 3, I want to create really good tests for my US history class. As a department, we decided that tests are going to be 50% of the kids' grades. And I feel like that's kind of a lot, and that if I'm going to place such high emphasis on tests, that I also really need to make sure that the tests are reflective of what we've done in class, and that they actually assess what the kids know and just are fair. I feel like testing can be very unfair, and sometimes it's not the best way to find out what kids know. I don't know, I struggle with this a little bit, making good tests. I need to do the whole like backwards planning thing, you know, like have the test set up first and then plan the rest of the lessons to make sure that the kids are going to be able to be successful on that test. So that's another big thing for me this year. Number 4, take the kids on a field trip. I've applied for a grant and I've set up a field trip through the Japanese American National Museum for my 6th graders. After we read Farewell to Manzanar, we're gonna go to Little Tokyo and see this museum, and I just think it'll be so cool. And since I've been at this school, I haven't planned a field trip during the school year. I've taken kids on field trips over the summer, and I do a lot of little trips with the drama club kids, but with my actual class, I haven't planned a field trip for that. And I know it's gonna take some extra time, but I feel like I'm fairly good at field trip procedures and stuff like that. I used to run after school programs and summer programs through the YMCA, and we did lots of field trips. Since I've kind of been through that already, I already know a lot of the things to avoid and the things to plan for and stuff like that for field trips. So I think we'll be okay, but that's one of my goals for the year, is to have a really successful field trip. Number 5 is kind of starting to get into a little bit more of the personal side of my goals, but number 5 is just not complain, or at least like not complain too much. I think that one of the ways that I kind of like connect with other teachers and make friends in general is like the people who complain about the same stuff that I do. I'm always kind of joking about staff meetings or like bitsa, calling it son of a bitsa, shitsa. It just kind of helps me through. But at the same time, like, there's a fine line between kind of like just joking around and then getting into a rut where you just like complain about everything that happens. I don't want to be that person that's always complaining. I'm not very far removed from the process of like basically begging for a job and like being on my hands and knees like, I will do anything, please just hire me. So I'm still very grateful for my job and grateful for the opportunity to be teaching. I'm sure I'm not going to stop like joking around about certain things, but I just want to be more aware of my speech and just make sure that everything that comes out of my mouth is not something negative. Number 6 is to spend at least one lunch per week by myself. In my classroom, just either catching up on things or just reading through something I want to read, or even just sitting and like scrolling through Instagram. I know different people are really different about this, but I tend to go to the teacher's lounge for lunch almost every day. I like to get out of my classroom and kind of get away from the kids and just hear what my colleagues are up to. But I also think that it's important for me to just like take time to slow down, be quiet, and be in my room, take a break from the like go, go, go. Number 7, this is a really like outside of teaching thing, but be wise with my budget. My husband and I have been married for 5 years, and we've both been teaching or working in schools in some way all those years that we've been married, and this is the first year that we both know where we will be teaching this year. We know where our money's coming from for both of us. My husband started his school year last week actually, so he's already 1 week in. I'm starting Monday. We just feel very fortunate that we know where we're going to be teaching, and we have teaching jobs from the beginning of the year. And we both paid for all of our own college, all of our own college expenses, so we do have student loan debt and credit card debt from our college years and stuff like that. So we both just really want to get a handle on our finances. Now we can't use like uncertain employment as an excuse to not get things paid down or not to not save. I'm really going to be trying to save and budget and be responsible. Number 8, speaking of being responsible, I am also setting a goal to be on time, and I need to be on time for 3 things. To bed, and then I need to be on time when I wake up so that I can be on time to school. I am definitely one of those people that like rushes in right as that 7:30 mark hits, or maybe a little bit after. And my husband and I are both such night owls. Like, we get so much more done at night, and we're just not great at getting up early. But my goal is to go to bed every single night by 11, wake up every morning by 6, and then be on time to work every day. There are a couple things I always like to do before I go to bed. I like to take some time for myself, and I read, and I take a shower, and do some stretching, and all that good stuff. So I'm just really gonna try and focus on keeping and maintaining my schedule. Number 9 kind of goes along with this as well, but my goal just says go to the gym. I don't even have very specific plans about how many days a week, what time I'm gonna go to the gym. I just need to go to the gym. I put my gym membership on a freeze a couple months ago because I just did not have any time. There was no way I was ever gonna make it. And I do Blogilates in our apartment like really often. Every day pretty much I do Blogilates. But I need to be in the gym getting in my cardio, resistance training. The gym like right by my school really sucks. It's like the worst 24-hour fitness in America. It's like the oldest, least improved 24-hour fitness ever. So it doesn't make me like real excited to go there, but they do have some good machines. They have a 4-way hip machine, which I love, and like no place has that. It's kind of old school. They have a couple of like group fitness classes. They have like 3 treadmills that face a wall. It's such a weird setup. I feel like you have to be very disciplined to work out there because there's like no frills whatsoever. But I just need to go to the gym. Cardio is good for your brain, it's good for your bones, it's good for your heart, it's good for your muscles, it's good for your joints. And the fact that I am not getting much of that in right now is just really not good. And at this point, anything is better than nothing. So we'll figure out when the school year starts, like what day fits the best and when I can get there. I want to make sure my goals are reasonable, but I need to be there sometimes. Okay, and number 10, I think this is my biggest goal for myself this year, but it is to graduate with my master's in history. This has been a 5-year journey. This is getting ridiculous. People are like, how are you still working on your master's? Do you have like a PhD by now or something? What is the deal? But working full time and doing one of the most rigorous and top-rated Masters of History programs in the nation is just a lot of work. I love it. I love my classes. I love my research. It's just really hard and really time consuming, so I'm gonna be excited to be done. So I have one more like elective weird class thing that I have to take. So I'm taking medieval literature, which is not really in my wheelhouse, but I've heard great things about that class. And then I just have like an independent study course type of thing to write my thesis. I'm working on my prospectus right now, so my full thesis will be about 100 pages, maybe a little longer, and I study specifically Virgin Islands, like US history in like the 1920s and 30s, and I kind of compare the movements going on in the Virgin Islands to what was happening in New York City with the Harlem Renaissance and a lot of Caribbean radicalism. My husband's dad's family is from the Virgin Islands, and so I specifically study actually my husband's great-grandfather. And the research is just amazing. It's so cool. I've been working on this for years and years actually, so this is kind of the culmination. And at this point I have a 4.0 GPA, so the other kind of half of my goal is to graduate in the spring with a 4.0. And honestly, if I don't meet any of the other goals on my list, but I meet that, I will be okay. I'm gonna be just so proud of myself when I'm done, and it's gonna feel really, really good. And I'm gonna get a raise, and then I can use that raise to start paying off the student loans that I took out. So anyway, this was actually really fun to share with you my goals and just kind of talk through what I'm gonna do. I kind of have like a renewed excitement for all of these things that I have set out to do this year. So let me know in the comments below, what are some of your goals for this school year? I want to hear what other things people have come up with. I think this is just a good little exercise to do at the beginning of every school year and just kind of narrow down your focus and decide on the things that are going to be really important to you. And if I could do one little like sneaky extra goal to put on this list, it would just be to maintain this channel and maintain my blog. This past month that I've had off has been so nice to just sit and make a video every other day or so, and that's been really, really fun for me. During the school year, that doesn't happen. I usually just have like Saturday or Sunday. So I'll only be making maybe one video a week or two at the most. So I think it's gonna feel like my momentum kind of slows. It's been just really fun, like connecting with a lot more people over this summer, reading your comments, replying to your comments, talking to people on Instagram or over on my blog and even through Facebook. Like, it's just been so much fun. I love this. I love connecting with other teachers all over the world through this is crazy. So I want to make this a priority as well. So again, please comment with your goals below. Thank you so much for watching this video and sharing in this with me. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.